Well, as most of you know, the high school sports season has been canceled, and that means high school baseball as well. Cade Bray, senior at Northeastern, is getting ready for his final season of the high school year. And Cade, I tell you what, I don't know how you're feeling as a senior and knowing that you can't play that final year of baseball. Can you convey to everybody else kind of how you feel and maybe just some of the things you talked with some of your teammates about and what it's just meant to not have a senior season?
Yeah. At first, no one thought it was realistic for them to cancel the whole thing. So we were still expecting TC conference, something like that, to just get on the field one more time. But for a lot of the guys, it was their last game was their junior year, which if I would have known it was my last game was going to be my junior year against Union County in that sectional game, I would have. When you know something's coming to an end, you tend to look more into detail and create more of a memory instead
Yeah.
of being so focused as a junior. But it's been really tough on the guys. I've talked to a lot of the guys, and it sucks. I mean, they just want to throw a baseball on the field again. They want to swing the bat or put on the uniform, which if this thing ever does end or something, maybe we can have an alumni game. But, I mean, it just all around sucks.
Yeah. It has to be. You're going to be the first class I know of in the years I've been covering that hasn't had a chance to play that final season. Plus, I don't know what your prom looks like and things like that, your graduation, but I have a feeling most of that's probably out the window, right?
Yeah. Teachers, kids love prom, of course. They're still trying to push that through, but I mean, that looks difficult. And graduation, too, that's the tough thing. And online school is not the easiest either.
Yeah, yeah. What what in your estimation now is going to happen with that? Have they said graduation, how that might turn out, and if prom, like you said, I don't know how that's going to happen with social distancing, but are they going to give you a timeline on when they may say we're not going to do it, or are you guys holding on hope on both?
I've heard they want to do prom in July or something like that,
Okay.
but I feel like that'd just be different. That'd be weird not being in school. I'm used to the doubleheader and then going to prom. That's just the
Yeah.
vibe that everyone enjoys. But and then they discussed. Some teachers have discussed if we should do like a drive-through graduation, walk across the stage, people stay in their cars, which that'd be interesting. It's kind of like you're a part of history. It's different. Like it's cool to experience, but you don't want to experience it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a normal senior year and just
Yeah.
play some ball or something like that again.
Yeah. You, I haven't talked to your dad at all, but you guys, at least from a team standpoint, it looked like you could have had a promising season. You're back. You had some other guys back, and if everybody stays healthy, I thought you would have been in the mix. Is that kind of what everybody thought, that you guys had a real chance maybe to really compete for that TEC championship?
Yeah, as a team, we had already discussed all that. We had some returning younger guys like Ben Deitch and Justin Bain and Esquivel. We had younger guys returning that were strong players, and we had the top four hitters back on our team. Seth Middleton had a really good bat. Justin Bain again. And then all around, like our positions were looking actually pretty good. We were looking strong, healthy, good team. I thought we were going to have a pretty good season. I thought we were going to for sure be in the mix and make a run in sectionals or something like that. But then, of course, the one year that you feel like you got something going, something happens. Either someone hurts their arm or corona, of course. But
Yeah, yeah. Did was there a point where before you even got the news, I'm sure you guys were holding out hope, right? I mean, there kind of a little bit of a delay there before they finally nixed everything. And I know the IHSA talked about that as well. We're going to kind of wait and see. And maybe if May 1st rolled around, you could still get something in. So I think there was an idea that maybe even abbreviated season might work, right?
yeah, the coaches had sent out workout plans. We had kids working out. I hit up a couple buddies like a week after school was kind of acting weird about things, and we went to the field just as buddies, and we're just having a little home run derby, having fun. But we didn't think at that point that it was actually going to be cut off for sure, because that's crazy. I don't know how many years it's been since there's been a class that just can't ever play.
Yeah.
But we never thought it'd come to this.
Yeah. You well, now you look to the future. I guess whenever this is over with, now that high school from that standpoint athletically is over with, look back. I know you and I talked a lot during football. Just talk about now this is all over from an athletic standpoint and what you remember most now about your high school career.
The thing I'll miss from baseball is probably in the dugout, running your mouth, doing the normal things, hanging with the boys. But you tend to use the ending of your senior year as kind of a point to mature. Okay, I got college, I got to go into the workforce, whatever path people choose. You have to grow up in that short 2-month period that it's ending. And you also have the fun stuff, your sports ending. The tough thing is not ever getting to put on the uniform again. Those are things that, like, your freshman year, you think, what am I going to do the last game I ever play?
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you have kids down the road, you want to say, I did this my last game. And that's something we won't have. But looking to the future, I mean, when I do reminisce back, I mean, football made some great memories, baseball too. And it's the things you did with it. Like, since we did film some of the football season, I mean, we have a little memory book we can look through.
Yeah.
And it makes it seem like it's never ending because it's always there and documented. But with baseball, we only filmed a couple practices. And it's not all about film, but it's what you do. I wish I wouldn't have been so focused on in the moment. I always stressed about the game too much and focused on it because I took it serious. I mean, to be good, I feel like you have to. But if I would have known that maybe it was my last game or something like that, I would have kind of embraced it more.
Yeah.
And you kind of honestly take things for granted when things hit you out of right field. It's like an injury or something occurred and you're out. You take practices for granted. You kind of dread the late practices or the Saturday mornings that are cold. But if you could go back, you wouldn't take those for granted.
Well, it is a lesson learned, and I know that you've probably talked about that, and you have already. And we, as adults and those coaches, say, you need to treat this like this might be your final game, whether it be an injury or now something as bizarre as this. And I don't think a lot of young people kind of take that very seriously. Do you think this now is going to be kind of a lesson for at least a while to all these classes coming that, boy, don't take this for granted because you may not get another chance?
Yeah, for the younger classes, I'm sure. Honestly, I'm sure they're loving it. The time off, classes are a bit lenient. You got 5 days to do your work. But for this one class, I know it was tough because Austin Burkhart and Seth Middleton, I know they only played that sport. They did fall workouts all the time. Seth was always in Cade's cages, and they were putting in the work for their last season. And I'm pretty sure they were kind of looking into playing ball at the next level, and I'm sure it's going to hurt them in a way. But, it's tough I got to play football, and hang out with those guys. And I saw the way that ended. And it's good to get that closure of that last game. Yeah, I got beat. I got put out. It was time for me to hang up the jersey. And that's a thing that I think every player deserves. But in a situation like this, you can't force a season in the summer. You can't do stuff like that. You got kids playing summer ball, people all over the place. And it's just a different and weird topic to kind of be in the midst of.
So what's your future look like? What are you planning on doing now that that part's over? And once you graduate, what's in the next stage for Cade Bray?
Manchester talked to me about football.
Yeah.
They really wanted to get something there. And then there's been a few schools reach out about baseball. But honestly, I think I mean, I love the sports and I'd love to play them again. But one of the most things that I loved about it was the team and the atmosphere around the high school team. When you move to a different college organization, all that can switch up. You could be lifting weights all the time. You got things all over the place, because I know with my brother Earlham, he was nonstop putting in work, but he loved it because he liked his team. But I'm more of a study guy. I'm looking into what I want to study, and cinematography, filmmaking, and things. So I'm going to take my studies to Ball State. That's where I'm going to
Good
go.
for you. Congratulations on that. Yeah. Well, a lot of people know already that you're doing and with your football work now, as far as the cinematography that you're doing. I mean, you've been doing that for quite a while, so this is kind of a step up for you, but something that's not new to you.
Yeah, the football one was a whole different monster. We had I think over 60 hours of film, full film, just
Yeah.
over the whole season. And it's cool to go back and look back and see just how everyone acts. There's some things you don't catch. Some guys drop in a joke here and there and you don't catch it because you're doing stuff. And
Yeah.
it's cool to see yourself on the field, but it was a whole different monster to go after. But I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we put the time in to make that. It's going to turn into an awesome project in the future.
Yeah. It'd be fun to watch that in 40 years, won't it?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I don't think I have anything from my high school to look at. So you certainly have been quite a credit for the people around your football team to do that as well. How much more do you have to go on that, by the way?
We are on episode 10, I believe. So we have about five more games, I think,
Okay.
before Heritage Christian.
Okay. So still a lot of work to be done, though. So.
Yeah, I usually put about 36 hours into editing.
Wow.
Spread out throughout a week. I work a 9 to 5, I say. I start at 9 p.m. and go to 5 a.m. But, yeah, a lot of work, and then the voiceover, because I have to script that. That scripting, it takes about 3 hours, and then you have to do it, and then I have to drop it in. It's a lot of work. When you finally hit publish, it's kind of, and then you get to see the people's feedback and how they like it, which is cool.
Yeah, and I'm certainly have, right? I mean, I've heard great things about it, and I'm not even in that area as far as what you're doing with the kids and everything, but I'm sure they love it, right?
Yeah, we have a group chat that I always send the link in with the whole team, and the guys just go nuts over it. Finally, and it's about time and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
they just start throwing out time in the video that they think's the best, or a joke someone cracked, and that's what they like. I think not many people realize how much work we put in and how much time we dedicated to it, but also they didn't get to see how Northeastern did win conference, but the characters behind that, we weren't mainly focused. We were an outgoing, funny team, and I think that's what helped in the long run.
Yeah. Before I let you go, and as you said, a lot of hard work put into that. One of the things I like most about things like ESPN is when they do the E60s and things like that, because people really like the behind the scenes stuff that nobody ever sees. So I'm sure that's part of the reason why most of the fans like it. Yeah, they see on Friday night, they may take it to practice, but they don't see a lot of that stuff, do they?
Yeah, they don't get to see the 3-hour film sessions on Mondays, the 7 a.m. Wednesday films, the Saturday morning films, and then my favorite thing about the sport was definitely Friday night, but it was also all the things that led up to it, the preparation, the film work, and the coaches made it fun. And also, I mean, it all depends on the team bond and things. And I think that's what most seniors will miss, putting on the uniform and then the team bond that they had. Because if you don't get closure to say it was a great season or kind of a goodbye, it's kind of tough and it's kind of a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah, kind of leaves a hole, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of, you don't know what would have happened. I mean, what if Northeastern would have won sectionals in baseball this year for the first time in 19 years, I believe. That's longer than I've been alive. So if
Yeah.
things like that, that would have been cool to accomplish. But yeah, it's just difficult.
Well, listen, thank you for your time, and best of luck with the rest of the school year. And hopefully you'll get a chance to do the prom and some kind of a graduation. And also good luck at Ball State if I don't see you before then, okay?
All right.